When do you think? That was the first question that I heard in an all hands Q&A. One of the employees asked Elon, when does he think? I thought it was brilliant in a strange way, but everyone else laughed. After that, I thought for days, when should I think? It was interesting because Elon answered and he said, I think in the shower and I think when I'm in traffic. And then I thought to myself, when do I think? And so first, let me define what thinking is. Thinking isn't just oh yeah, I was thinking about kind of haphazard thinking. What I'm talking about is deep, intentional thinking. I started thinking probably a couple years ago, which sounds kind of weird, but it is what it is. So really what that meant for me was on my commute to work, instead of listening to podcasts, instead of listening to music, I would just be in thought. Of course I had to drive, pretty, mindless tasks overall, but I would challenge myself to ask some fundamental question and explore my own thoughts during that drive. And so for me, it takes me about 30 minutes to get to work. And so I would just use that 30 minutes in order to think through something, to mentally prepare for work, or if I'm going home, to debrief, to reflect on the day. So one thing I want to differentiate is that thinking is not the same as meditation. The idea of meditation or mindfulness is being present or letting thoughts go. Where deep thinking, at least in this idea that I'm describing, is the intentional thought, the control of the mind in order to get or navigate in some space. So whereas meditation, again, you would kind of release your thoughts or watch yourself thinking. In this idea, it's let me control my thoughts. Let me think about something intentionally. So when I think, there's a couple of things that I'm trying to do. Number one, challenge intuition. A lot of times we go through life or just like day to day and we don't really question why we're doing what we're doing. We just do it because it becomes natural or second nature at some point. Sometimes I like to just take a moment and think and say, why am I doing this thing? Or why do I always do this thing? And challenge just those intuitions or second nature behaviors. And that allows me to either verify that, yeah, that's pretty good, or challenge and change and say, you know what, maybe I'm not doing this the best way. Number two, to resolve something in my mind. A lot of times as an engineer, I'm trying to think through problems, and with meetings left and right or whatever, it's really difficult to try to think through something. So I set time aside to specifically think through those things, right? If it's trying to solve a problem, I can try to understand what the problem is or to try to come up with a solution. And number three, reflect on an event, activity, and understand what that situation was. A lot of times I'll talk to people or have meetings all day and I'm constantly being fed with different inputs, but I never really take time to synthesize that information. So I like to take a moment to just think, debrief, reflect on what I just experienced, learned, and try to see what I can gain from that and just process it, right? I think that we're fed constantly and we never really process whatever we're fed. So my challenge for you is this. Take 10 minutes, no music, no phone, just you, and think. Think intentionally about something, some fundamental question. Maybe think about, when do I take time to think? Maybe think about a recent experience and what it meant to you, or maybe what you hoped from that situation. Another simple question to ask is, when was the last time I took a moment to deeply think? So think about it. Think about your thoughts and let me know what you come up with. See you on the next one. Peace out.